Today we're going to talk about a more serious topic. Not because I'm trying to make y'all sad or anything, but I've really been thinking about this a lot recently. And it's one of those things that I kind of want to just get off my chest and vent about. So a lot of y'all know, and I've talked about this before on the channel, that, Mama Sin has passed away in 2013. And I don't know, every time I talk about it, it's kind of like I'm sad, but I guess I'm used to it now, at least talking about the situation. It's one of those things where it's like it's a hard pill to swallow, but it's like you kind of have already been through it, so it's like you could talk about it some. And I'm not really here to talk about, her passing per se, but the story pertains to this, and it's kind of like a heavy topic. So, before we get into this, trigger warning for suicide and harassment, like death, bullying, like just a bunch of shit, bro. So if you have any of those things and it will trigger you, then maybe this isn't the video for you. You're okay with a little heavier topic, then we can, continue and talk about it. But I wanted to talk about this because maybe it could help somebody. Maybe it could get out to someone, and maybe they can learn from, what I went through, because kids are really cruel, man. Like, kids are really cruel. And when I was growing up, I realized, a lot of times kids don't have that empathy and compassion that we kind of grow into as we get older. A lot of times they just don't really have that, and they say a lot of things that are hurtful. It might lead you to do certain things. And anyways, so it was fourth grade, and I've told this story before. I talked about how I was a new kid and it was rough on me, and I had this bully, and like I ended up getting in a fight with that guy and beat him up pretty bad, and then they kind of stopped talking about me for a while. And the thing with like bullies and kids that are cruel like that is you can kind of protect yourself, but they're like sharks in the water, and it's like as soon as they smell blood, it's like it's bad. They pounce. And the blood in this case was a weakness of mine, and that was the fact that my mom was very sick. So my mom, to let y'all into that a little bit, had like autoimmune like issues. So her immune system wasn't really working up to par like it should have been. And that's because she had got a surgery done, and she had got gastric bypass surgery. And she wasn't taking care of herself. She wasn't doing the upkeep on herself, which, was exercising and eating better and eating less and things like that. She kind of just went back to eating how she wanted to, but she got full very quickly, so she was still losing a lot of weight. And those of you that know about surgeries like that, you don't feel hungry or fuller, but a lot of times those people, they don't take care of themselves. They don't drink water. They don't eat foods that's good for them, and things like that. So my mom, she just was like, oh, as long as I'm skinny, I can just eat and drink what I want. So she would just eat fast food and like drink soda, and she still was losing a lot of weight because she couldn't eat a lot. But how your body feels, it matters, like what you're ingesting. And my mom was not taking care of herself. She ended up getting a lot of like immune system issues because of that. So she was sick all the time. She didn't really know why she was sick all the time, but like it didn't come out till years later when she died why she felt sick all them years, and she was slowly killing herself. And it's like it's slow. Yeah. My mom got that gastric bypass surgery when she was I was 8 years old, 7, 8 years old. So my mom was maybe 26 or 27, something like that. She died when she was, 37. So it took about 10 years for her to die from that point. But throughout them 10 years, she was just always sick and couldn't do anything because she was making herself sick and didn't realize it. Now, all of that was like a lot, and I know, but it was important for the setup to the story. And my main point, and like how I feel like I maybe can be able to help someone. So, kids found out my mom was sick. Now, how they found out my mom was sick was one time my mom came to a parent-teacher conference, and she got really lightheaded and was not feeling well, and in the class, and everybody saw it. She didn't end up having like go to the hospital or anything, but she left early, and everybody in the class kind of seen that happen and just assumed things. And it got bad after that, because all the kids that didn't like me, they just found something new to fuck with me about. And they got to me. I'm not gonna lie, they really did get to me. Every day they would constantly berate me and tell me that my mom had cancer and she was gonna die. And when you're 10 years old, it's like, that's a lot, bro. When someone, not even someone, but when a multitude of people keep telling you the same thing over and over again, you start to believe it. And, you know, obviously in hindsight, I'm like, that was silly. Like, I shouldn't have listened to that. But, you know, it happened. And I believe that shit, bro. And that shit really hurts. It hurts, man, a lot to know that kids that I was going to school with would do that to me. It sucks, bro. It does. It sucks a lot. And I hated it. Hated it so much that I started trying to stay home from school. And my mom obviously wasn't allowing that. So I would just always combat with her in the mornings and stuff. And she knew that, you know, I always liked school. So she was confused. She was like, I don't know what's going on. Why are you trying to not go to school? And that's like, and it's like, I didn't want to tell her. I thought maybe, you know, I'd upset her or make her go and say something to the kids. And I didn't want to be looked at like, you know, a snitch. And man, it was a lot, bro. It was a lot. I don't know. It was hurtful, bro. It was hurtful. So moving on. At this point, I hated everything about the school and all of the people there pretty much. And I'm sorry, it's tough to get through this video because it's like really sad, bro. It's really sad to think about and relive this, but I really needed to get it out, bro. And I feel like it's a good message. But at that point, I hated everyone there and I hated myself. And I thought that I would make all of them reap what they sow. And I thought that I could kill two birds with one stone, because at that point, I was like, if my mom isn't going to be here and she's going to die, I don't want to be here either. I want to die too. I decided that I was going to try to take my life, and I was going to do it in school. So all of those people would feel bad and have to live with that for, you know, treating me the way they did. And that was hard. It was hard to get the courage to even come up with that idea and to try to follow through with it. But I felt like that's what I needed to do. And it was hard. It was hard. It was hard to go to school that day. It was hard to really try to attempt to do what I did. And, you know, luckily there was a teacher nearby, and because I was going to do it. I'm so glad that I got saved that day and I didn't do it. I was in the bathroom, and this is, you know, obviously the trigger warning part. And I had a pair of scissors, and I hesitated at first. I was scared. It's like I wanted to be saved. I wanted to be gone, but I wanted someone to care. I wanted anybody to care and to come in and stop me and to just care. But if they didn't, I was going to do it. And I didn't yell out. It was all just literally coincidental. Like, I was about to try to attempt to do it. And as I made contact with my skin, one of my friends walked in. They saw me. They started screaming. And there was a teacher like right there in the hallway, and they ran in, and he grabbed me and tackled me down. And it was a lot, bro. A lot happened, and so fast. I had no time to react. It happened so fast, bro. And you know, I'm glad it happened, obviously. But after this, you know, I've obviously had to go to the hospital. I had to answer a bunch of questions, and they asked me about my home life and all these things, man. But it honestly boiled down to the fact that kids were being very cruel to me. They were being very cruel. And you never know what someone's going through in general. You never know what someone's going through at home, but it helps to be kind. Just be kind. It doesn't cost anything to be kind. It doesn't take away from who you are as a person to be kind. It's a redeeming quality. Be kind to others, and it's to love one another. And it's something that I really aspire to do, because I could have been gone. And you know, I'm so grateful for life, and I appreciate life, and I want to do great things. But if those kids had just been kind to me, I never would have had to go through those traumatic experiences. I never would have had to end up going to therapy. I never would have had to end up getting on medication. I could have been a normal kid and grew up and been a normal guy. But instead, here I am, right? Making YouTube videos, and my mind races all the time, and it's hard to sleep. And I have nightmares. It's like, it doesn't help that I also had a very, very hard life. And I was in the streets and had to see death there and people get murdered. And like, it doesn't help. It doesn't help that all of that happened to me later in life. But like, it started with that situation in 4th grade. Is what kind of put me in a dark spot. And I've never really gotten out of it. And I'm trying to. And it's hard, bro. I think I wanted to get this off my chest and to really just like push the message to just be kind to one another. Please don't be harsh to other people and just show love. Like, just show love, bro. Just be better. And that's really all I want to say. I just want everyone to be kind to each other and to care for each other, I guess, you know? So thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Appreciate y'all so much, and I love y'all, man.